Goblets and Goblins could have been a really good Rugrats episode, but there's something that the reboot does time and time again that I think is a pretty bad decision. This is the second segment of the 22nd episode of the first season of Rugrats, and all of the adults are playing a kind of Dungeons and Dragons game. And honestly, that part of it I really enjoyed. I don't care about the board game, but I loved seeing the adults interacting and having fun, and I wish we got to see more of the adults. Meanwhile, the babies are playing pretend, as Angelica has told the babies that goblins are scared of babies, and a goblin is guarding her Cynthia castle, which she describes to them as treasure. And she uses the babies to try and find this castle, this present that her mother said she can have after the grown-ups have finished their game if she plays nice with the babies. And the majority of the episode is the imaginative play of the babies off trying to find this treasure, and it could have been really good because I think the actual character designs were pretty great and the development of the narrative was, pretty steady. They encountered various problems along the way, and it cut back and forth between imaginative play and the real world in a way that was really pleasing. But the colour palette is so boring. And this is something that the reboot does too often. Whenever they have imaginative play, it always seems to be very, very badly animated. In this one, it's the fact that everything is dull and dark and dimly lit. Why? It didn't need to be. They were wearing really fun looking costumes that would have been great if they were brightly coloured and we could see them in great detail with decent lighting, but everything was dark and dull and not very nice to look at. In the previous episode, or an episode recently, the one with the characters dressed as bees, it was bright and vibrant, but they had extreme close-ups, and that was really horrible to look at. And I don't know why, but whenever we have imaginative play in the reboot, it's just terribly animated. And I don't know if they're just trying really hard to distinguish between reality and the imaginative play scenes, but you don't need to badly animate it to do that. So, honestly, I was really disappointed. Visually, it was really dull. I wanted to see the costumes and things in detail rather than just this horrible, dull wash over all of those scenes. So it wasn't great. It could have been, but I found it really dull and boring and unpleasant to look at. And unfortunately, it's a running theme with the reboot whenever they have imaginative play. So it could have been really fun, but unfortunately, it was just really boring.